See my chickens way out there? I was sitting on the couch and I noticed that they're venturing off in way over to the fence, and they're separated. And that's really unusual. There's a squirrel over there, see it? And I'm sitting on the couch because I'm doing my devotional. And when I saw that they're getting to the fence, I started calling them. And I said, you're getting too far. There comes my babies. They're coming because they see me here. They know I give them treats. And I started calling them. And that's important because that's a lesson. See the fence? That's the boundary line. God gives us boundary lines. Because when we go too far, he starts calling us. Like I called my chickens to come. The minute they heard my voice, they turned around. They lifted their heads. They stopped because they heard my voice. And they know the voice to listen to. And what they did is after they stopped, they reflected and they started walking back. Because they know their boundaries. And when they hear the voice of their master, they come. And now they're going to get their treats. See my chickens? They got blessed because they heard my voice and they came. They were obedient. But you see, the problem is we look at these boundaries that are back there. And for some of us, we see them as God's trying to control us, as a negative thing. But they're really there to keep us safe. Boundaries keep us safe. God wants his people to be safe. He never changes. He wants us to be safe. And those boundaries are there to keep these chickens safe. If they were to go past that boundary, there could be a coyote, a cow could trample them, then they won't be able to get back. And this is why boundaries are set by God, to protect us, not to hurt us. If you see it in that way, you will never feel rebellion to God. You will feel like he loves you, he wants to protect you, and he wants to guide you back in alignment with him because he loves you so much, just like I love my chickens. And I reward them when they come back because they heard my voice. And God blesses you too when you follow his word and his voice. Every morning, Missy comes when I'm sitting here reading and studying. She comes here to cuddle with me. She likes to sit right on top of my book. So I'll usually have my notebook up here and I gotta move everything because of her. Listen to her purr. Good morning, everybody. So I'm here in my house and I'm just want to show you what kind of a day that I actually have in the morning. I usually sit on my couch back there and I do my devotions. I plan my day. I have my devotions on my planner here. So I review my day, my goals, all the things that I do. And then I make breakfast and I want to show you the kind of breakfast that I eat here on the homestead. Everything is homemade. Missy here with me. She likes to sit on the porch and watch and see if she can get something. And then Muffin is always over here too. I'm having French toast. This is my homemade bread that I cut into cubes, and I just have some milk, some egg from my chickens, and some vanilla and some cinnamon and some strawberries that I have purchased the other day. And then I have a boiled egg over here from my chickens. That's why Missy is so excited. And then I make my own juice. And with this little machine that was given to me, it's just so easy to do. So I don't buy orange juice. I buy mandarin oranges. They're about $3.85. And what I do is I peel one. I put it in here. I take off the white pith, of course, because that's too much fiber. But you can see it's separated. So I put it in here with some coconut water that I buy from Sam's Club. I buy the little packages. And I'll put about a third to a half of the package of coconut water in here. And this is something that I came up with because I do not like store-bought orange juice and I like fresh, and this is so delicious and it gives me good juice. So this is something that I plan to do when I go on the road, and you just hit this little button here and it stirs it up for you. So while I'm eating my food, it separates. So what I'll do is I'll put the cover back on and I'll do that. I drink it right from here. It's made to be drank from here. This I think is called a Blend Jet. They have some knockoffs on Amazon of these, but I will never be out of one of these, and it's all rechargeable and it's perfect for traveling if you like to make smoothies and things like that. And very easy to clean because I just put a little bit of soap and water in there when I'm done, and it cleans itself. I don't buy cereals. I don't buy none of that stuff that you see in the store. I don't buy waffles. I don't buy none of that. I eat my own food. This is my view in the morning when I'm sitting here having my breakfast. I can watch the chickens. They're in the run right now. They were foraging since 7:30. It's about 10:30 now. The cows are out, and it's just a beautiful day, a beautiful view. And I can't wait to get into the garden. I'm going to be in the garden today. And I have my lovelies here with me. So today is the day. I'm going to take advantage of the weather because it's breezy, it's cloudy, it's going to rain. So I'm going to get the garden set up so that I can put my transplants in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move all the mulch, and then I'm going to go ahead and weed everything, take all the weeds out. And then I'm going to go ahead and add amendments. Hopefully I'll get all of that done today before it starts raining. So I have some stuff still in the garden. I have some cauliflower. These are weeds. I have some kale. This is ready to harvest. This one I'm waiting for. I have a kohlrabi over there that I did not plant, but I guess the seed fell over there. And I just want you to see, this is broccoli. And broccoli, once it's done, it gives you these pods, and these are the seeds in here. So I'll be getting those as well, harvesting them this week so that I have seeds for next year. And then this is rapini, and the rapini seeds, similar to the broccoli, they're already dried, so I can go ahead and get these too. And all of this is just weeds growing here. Look at this cute little flower. Isn't it cute? It's a weed, but it's got a cute flower. The chickens are out. They're coming around back over here. They're laying their egg before, but now Haven and Amy are here. Picket was walking around before. It gives me joy when I'm doing work like this, like outdoor work, to have the chickens come around because they're able to be out and I'm able to watch them as well at the same time. So it's something different because in the past when I didn't have chickens, it was kind of lonely here being by myself. And now that the chickens come around, they're really nosy. Look at this. So they're right there watching me. So funny. They know when I'm in the garden, I have good stuff I give them. They're just gonna have to wait because the rain is coming and I want to get this, at least this part of the garden done, because this is where I'm going to plant my corn, my tomatoes, and my peppers. The rest of the garden I don't have to do today, but this part here I want to get it all done today so that tomorrow hopefully I'll be able to plant. Came to visit me? To see what I'm doing. You're so nosy. I don't know where Picket is. There she is. She's coming this way. Picket! Hello, chicks. Thank you for coming to visit me. You're gonna ask me, why is Muffin sleeping like that? So that's Missy's cushion. But Missy likes to take Muffins whenever Muffin is not in it. Did you have a good sleep? And I just threw that cushion over there that really belongs to Missy. So this is Muffin sleeping in the cushion. Pulled a lot of weeds today. I'm super hungry. The weather is good. I was trying to do as much as I can because I got to take advantage of this amazing weather. No sun, cloudy, breezy, cool. But I'm starving and I'm thirsty. So I'm going to go ahead and eat and hopefully I can go back out there. When I was eating, it rained right afterwards. So I don't mind taking out Saturday to just kind of rest and relax and read and catch up with some editing. So I'm hoping that tomorrow the weather will be good so that I can attack the garden tomorrow. I think I'm going to harvest the cabbage and the kohlrabi that are in there so that I have them for the week to eat. And then I'm going to go ahead and amend the soil with some of the products that I purchased. Like I purchased worm casings and some other stuff that I bought for the soil, plus some compost that I have there that's broken down that I can put it in there too. So those kind of things is what I think I'm going to do tomorrow. And then hopefully I'll get a chance to plant as well. Luckily, my jalapenos in the freeze came back. So all my other peppers and stuff, they died, but I'm surprised my jalapenos came back. So I'm super excited about it because I already have 2 jalapenos that are super, like they're super big. This is my first year actually doing the garden, knowing what I'm doing. Well, you never know 100%, but this year I do know what to expect, which is an awesome feeling. Good morning, everybody. It is almost noon and it's been really cold today. Very different from yesterday. Yesterday was a really nice day. Today we have partly sunny skies, but it was really cold this morning. It was like 46. So I'm bundled up to get into the garden. I spent a lot of my morning, I'm gonna open this for Missy so she can go out. I spent a lot of my morning in devotions, reading, just because it was cold. I didn't want to go outside. But now that it's warmed up and the weather is a little bit warmer, I bundled up and I'm gonna go outside and finish the garden. And that's my plan, to finish cleaning up the garden today so I can put the amendments in, put the compost in, turn over the soil. Come outside, Muffin? No? You're gonna stay there? All right, we're gonna leave her there. Lots of projects. I gotta pressure wash, I gotta pull weeds. My neighbor gave me some nice plants. I gave her some eggs. Plants are coming back from the cold that died. All of these plants, the roots were still good when they came back after that freeze. My palm did not come back. I have some celery growing over here, and I discovered that one of my pumpkins is coming in. I had planted it before the frost, and now it's coming in, which is great. So I moved the mulch because I have to put amendments on all of the soil, and I pulled all the weeds. I discovered I have lettuce coming in here. My rainbow chard was overgrown with weeds around it, so hopefully I left it in because hopefully I'm going to fertilize it and it's going to grow even more. I don't know what this is because I did plant garlic in here the other day. I had a garlic that was giving me some shoots, and then I planted something in this last year, so I'm gonna have to figure out what this is that's growing here. But anyway, my lettuce is still going. I've been eating this lettuce since December of last year. Look how beautiful that lettuce still is. This is my salad every day. Still have some weeds to pull over here. There's a whole bunch. I want to take this cabbage out this week and eat it. So I might actually take these out and put them in the ground so they can really flourish. And then I'll plant some others for succession planting. Oh, that one's hard to get out. Some of these weeds are really hard to get out. Some of them are really easy to get out, but some of them, like these little guys, they're easy to pull out. But some of them, man, they're locked in there. You know, one of the things that I love about getting in the dirt and coming out here and sitting here with God and the garden is because I feel the presence of God here. Every time that I'm working in the garden, I see so many similarities to God's kingdom, where he wants us to go back to his kingdom because we've been lost for so long. And to me, I almost see it like the garden that I have here has boundaries, and it has a fence and it has a fence around it, and that's to keep out the predators, you know, the animals that want to eat my food. Now, I don't mind sharing with them. If I saw a bunny rabbit here, I'd probably, you know, want to give them a carrot or something like that. But if I don't put boundaries in my garden, you know, the deer can come in and eat it, the gophers can come and eat it, the rabbits can come and eat it. So then what's going to happen? I'm not going to have any for me. I have to take control. I have to take dominion over my territory, right? And that's the same thing with God, that God gives us authority to take over. And Adam didn't do a good job with that, right? So now we spent all these years trying to get back our authority, and we have it now because we have it under Jesus, Yahushua. So when you realize that world around you, and I'm not talking about just the world in general, I'm talking about your mind is where your boundaries are. You have to put boundaries on your mind and not let people infiltrate that space, because when they come in, they're coming in to eat your goods. They're coming in to take away and steal what rightfully belongs to you. And before you know it, you're going to be so busy on something or whatever it is, on their drama, that they're gonna bring you drama in your life. I'm telling you, they're gonna bring you drama. So you're gonna be so out of focus because you're just gonna be focusing on that drama. You're gonna become a part of their drama, that you're not gonna notice that they're eating your garden because you're so out of focus. And before you know it, you're gonna turn around and say, where's all my stuff? What happened to this and what happened to that? And this is why God needs us to make sure that we choose the right kind of people to come into our kingdom, right? And that might mean, like me, it's been like this for me for a while now. That might be that God needs you to be alone for a while because he needs you to reflect on those things and be alone so that he can teach you and guide you. Because if there was people around you, you'd be focused on them and you wouldn't be focused on him. And he's trying to teach you how to focus on him. I know this is the lesson in my life right now in the last couple of years. And I am so disgusted with the way that the world is. I'm still ready to help. I'm still ready to be here for people. But I'm not going to let them cross my boundaries. And this is what I wanted to say to you today is the reason that why I don't have that girl here when I'm not going to be working with the foster group anymore as far as renting anymore to them. When this girl came into my life, I realized that I needed to set some boundaries. And I wrote up some house rules and some expectations too of why I was doing this for her, to make sure that we were on the right path, in the right place, right? I mean, you're talking about a grown person. You have to have rules, right? When you rent the house out, you do a contract with the tenant so that they know what you're expecting of them and what you don't think is right. So I typed this up, and before the girl moved in, she hasn't moved in yet, by the way. She's not going to be here. But I'm just going to tell you that right up front. I gave this to the social worker. Now I have a problem with the department of this organization that calls himself Pride, okay? And I was very specific on the kind of children that I wanted here. Had to be a girl, and had to be a girl that knew she was a girl. So I'm not sure if they didn't like that, and they didn't like the fact that I gave rules out, and I gave the girl the rules. We went out to lunch that day, like I said, and I gave her the rules, and she was fine with the rules. There was a couple of things we talked about she was a little uncomfortable with, but it brought out a conversation, and I told her, I said, well, this is good. This is what I want. I want us to understand each other. So if you come to stay with me, we've already had this conversation, and we can adjust the paperwork accordingly. I'm not here to be a dictator, but I also want to see if, you align with me as far as certain things are concerned, because these are my boundaries. And everything that I have belongs to God. Okay, he's the one that gave me everything. So I have to be a good steward of the money he gives me, of the land that he's given me, of everything. And I definitely don't want people to come here, like I have allowed in the past, to come and pollute my property with their ideas and their notion of what religion is and what's acceptable and not. And that was my fault because, I fell to the way of the world too, and I fell to the way of these people. So I just wanted to make sure that this was not going to happen with this girl. And, this organization did not like the fact that I gave her rules. They don't like that. They don't like parents like me giving rules, because what happens is they're afraid that anything little happens with this child. She's not a child, by the way, she's going to be 20, but that I'm going to call them up and say, get her out of here. And then they have to find another placement for her. So they see me as a problem for them, because what they want to do is they're interested in just placing these kids. And I noticed that a lot of these kids have been in the system for quite a while. This is something that God was showing me. And these kids although they're better now that they're older because they're maturing and they're seeing the results of their disobedience and their rebellion, why they were not adopted at a younger age. They still have the rebellious spirit in their soul. A lot of them have declared themselves to be, as the world says, to be of a certain type of sexuality, or that they are combined in sexualities. And that hurts them because that goes in their file. I decided that this is not for me. Sat with it with God for a while, and he actually gave it to me in a dream. The day before, she came back the second time because she had left something here, and I invited her to lunch. She was coming to pick it up, and she called me to talk to me, and then I said, listen, you have this stuff here, why don't you come get it and come and have lunch with me? So she came and had lunch with me, and the day before, God had given me a dream about her. And I knew that this was happening because God was giving me closure on this, and he wanted me to see lots of things. If you tell God to show you and you pray about this, the intent of people, and if this is right or not, then he will show you all of those things. So, for me, I realized after this that this was not for me. I did not want to struggle with a teenager in rebellion anymore. I did not want to deal with things like that, and I don't need to in my life. And I certainly don't need an organization to undermine my authority by not giving me the ability to give a child rules. She had no problem with the rules. She didn't sign them because she's not authorized to until they actually okay that she signed it. She was okay with it, but then I realized that the grown-ups are the problem. And this is the same situation I had in the past with these organizations. It's not the kids' fault. A lot of it has to do with the rules that are in place. A lot of these organizations, they keep certain kids around because they make money off of these kids, right? They get a check every month, they give a part for the kids, and then they make money too off this stuff. So I decided this is not for me. I decided that I'm not going to do this, and I'm just going to sell the Airstream and move on with my life and dedicate myself to other things just to be at peace here and travel. I really want to travel. That means I have to just shift my plans a little bit. No big deal. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy, to change our plans. But I think that those plans, that's a good thing, because God is changed my plans because he saw something. He gives everybody opportunity to do the right thing. These people did not do the right thing, and he wanted me to see that. He wanted me to see that, to see what these children organizations are doing. They're raising up these kids with no rules, no laws. And this is the way that it keeps happening in our society. You're not allowed to have rules in the house. You don't give your kids rules. You don't, sorry, but I give my tenants rules. I have to give my tenants rules, and that's just the way that it is. I decided that this is not going to be for me. And I'm glad and I'm grateful that God revealed that to me in the dream. He revealed it to me in my heart because I think it's the right thing to do. And I I wasn't bringing her here so that I could travel. I could still travel. There's a lot of things that I have other plans to do things. So that's not going to be a problem for me in the future. I'm just going to reset my plans to do them differently this time. And that's all it is. But I'm grateful that I was shown where society is going. And that gives me more drive to continue to talk about the amazing God that I have, who protects his people from making mistakes or from people who change their ways. And I could tell you that God gives everybody opportunity. But if somebody's in your life that was a good, decent person, and all of a sudden they start to turn on you and you're a person of God, let me tell you something. God is going to show you that, and he's going to get those people out of your life. They could have been good Christians in the beginning. I'll tell you, because it happened to me. They start off as good Christian. They start off preaching the word. They start saying stuff. But then they start turning to the worldly ways, okay? And then they start to deceive you with lies. And they're full of themselves. And God is also testing them. And he's not going to let you get hurt. He's going to show you. He's going to give you dreams and stuff. And that's the way that it's been in my life. So I just being honest about my walk. Pray to him to show you who's behind your back doing things, showing up one way and then coming another way, or what organization or your job, you know, is doing deceitful things. You need to get out of there, and you need him to provide for you in the meantime. And if you're walking in holiness, if you're doing the right thing, walking in righteousness, which is basically just doing the right thing, following his laws, then welcome to the family. He's going to watch over you. You got to get that in your heart, because that is so true. Oh, some of these weeds are so super tiny. Look at this little tiny weed. You see that? Yeah, those are hard to get up sometimes. You know, I did a lot of work. I did just spend some money on the Airstream, and I'm okay with all of that, because I know that God is going to do wonderful things in the end. So another lesson we're learned. That's all it is. Back in the garden today, and I have a little wagon with my compost that I'm bringing over from my compost area, and I'm kind of filling in the area where I mended the soil yesterday. I'm just putting compost here. I have a couple of bags also from Home Depot, richer compost. Well, I don't know. This is compost that I made. So, I mean, it's got everything in it, and it's got cow poop in it too, so, and chicken manure and all of that stuff. So I'm putting that in the garden now. It's been sitting for about a year, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mix it in with the other compost that I have, and underneath that I amended the soil, so I'm going to turn over the soil after I'm done that. So I'm using the small wagon because I'm able to pull it with wheels, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get the whole garden done today, but I know this area here is where predominantly I'm going to plant most of the stuff that I have. It's still cold here. Actually, today it's still cold. Today is the day I'm going to pull out this kohlrabi. It looks like it's starting to split on me. It's getting dried up. So I am definitely going to eat this. My first day today eating kohlrabi. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give the leaves to my chickens today for their meal. And they'll probably have this for a couple of days. So that'll be super, super awesome. There it goes. This is for eating today. I ran out of stuff for my chickens, so I did pull out a carrot to give them. I give carrots to my chickens every day. I buy like a, I don't know, it's like 5-pound bag at Sam's Club, and I ran out, and I don't want to go to Sam's Club. It's pretty far, so I took out a carrot from there. I'm going to give them some of these greens, and the greens from the kohlrabi, and then the kohlrabi, I'm going to eat that today. Got a lot of work I got to get done outside today. This weather is amazing. We have some, we have some really good weather coming in the next few days. No humidity. I mean, it does get warm out in the sun, but I just have to wear some sunscreen. This is my kohlrabi with leftover turkey from Thanksgiving that I have frozen. There's some couscous in there, plain couscous. And I just sauteed it with some onions, garlic, some spices, and then I let it steam. And it's delicious. It's like broccoli with a potato. It's just really delicious. I do like this kohlrabi a lot. Definitely gonna plant this again for sure. Forgot to tell you that I topped it with lots of cheddar cheese. It's melted in there right now, but there's a lot of cheese in there. Very cheesy. Hey, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Please don't take my sunshine away.